Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of Dan 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 on season 2 on episode 7 or episode 19 of the total number of episodes of Dan Dan Dan. This episode right here looked really simple, nothing much I can really give a big detail about depending on your point of view, so if anything else, let's just get this started. When it comes to Okuro-kun being at Momo's place or Momo doing her job at the same time, that thing lasted about almost 7 minutes if anything else. Well, around 6 minutes to around 6 minutes in the 6 to 7 minutes in the range, depending on what you're looking for or what you're looking at. But other than that, the very beginning of the episode involves Momo doing her job, and she wasn't really getting the hang of it because she's not very polite, and she's not that kind of like formal giving like happiness to a lot of people in a mate outfit. But when it comes to her leaving her job, Okuro-kun decides to wait, saying, hey man, I can't just leave you by yourself walking at night. I couldn't risk it. And when it comes to Okuro-kun and Momo's moments, it's obvious from the get-go that their feelings for each other is starting to grow. Even though Momo didn't think much about Okuro-kun, and Okuro-kun did not just saw Momo as a friend, that says otherwise throughout their relationship throughout this entire series, especially till now. As for Gigi, he's starting to get the hang of using his spirit powers, but in terms of managing to keep Evil Eye in check after getting splashed with some maybe somewhat cold liquid on him, he was barely able to hold it back or hold Evil Eye back. Now, when it comes to Momo and Okuro-kun finally coming home, about to drink some hot water, we get to see Gigi and Ira trying to talk to Okuro-kun and saying, hey, where were you guys? But freaking Ira, who had her ice cold drink on her, accidentally splashed Gigi on it when Gigi freaking bumped into her, and then they end up getting splashed. He ends up turning to Evil Eye. He almost kills Momo, but Momo managed to spray hot water into her mouth onto him when he gotten close before he was about to punch her and possibly kill her. By that time, yippee, that was very close. And of course, Gigi felt very remorseful, saying, oh my gosh, what have I done, kind of thing. But Mom was like, hey, don't worry about it. And then, but Okuro-kun just pushed Gigi aside, saying, hey, are you okay? It looks like your clothes just got ripped. And when it comes to Gigi, I could tell on his eyes, on his face, he really does feel remorseful about what he just did right now. He almost killed his first love and his friend, Momo. But Momo's grandmother says, hey, this isn't on you, okay? So don't try to overthink it. But still, if freaking Gigi wakes up and he killed Momo, it's gonna really traumatize him. And like I said, and repeating myself when it came to last week's episode, it gets me really annoyed that Gigi wants to keep Evil Eye around to play with them. But this guy, on the other hand, said, what this thing just almost did, and over throughout the course of the entire series of this second season, it's been nothing more than an antagonist. And we have Ira tries to apologize to Momo, and Momo's like, you just forget it, alright? Just, it is what it is. You can't be helped, etc. As for Okuro-kun, he wants to get stronger and ask Mantis Shrimp to learn how to throw a punch. But he goes no way, I'm not going to help you do that because I'm a pacifist, okay? Violence is not something that you should be doing, and it's very much wrong. By that time, we have that when it comes to Gigi eating, etc., there was a scene with Momo's grandmother and this guy Manjiro. He apparently is thinking in his mind, okay, I can't take this no more. I'm gonna call in the Hayashi guys and then exercise his spirit. There's no way we can keep doing this. I mean, this guy almost killed Momo, and it's not what Momo did, thanks to her good thinking. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen twice. Momo got unlucky right there, and she almost died. And Manjiro is saying, you know what? I'm gonna call in the Hayashi performer to do the exorcist ritual. If you don't want to do it, then I'll do it myself. Okay? Of course, Momo's grandmother tries to convince him otherwise, that we gotta help these kids out. I mean, I could understand what you're coming from or what you're trying to say, but right now, as an adult, you want to burden yourself with all the kids' troubles, no? So you could tell them to do whatever they like. What do you think? But Manjiro says, it's also the responsibility of an adult to show him the reality as well. And honestly, they both. When it comes to this, I have to be realistic as well. I mean, the guy has a point. They gotten very lucky. They gotten too lucky, perhaps. And Gigi, in Evil Eye mode, almost killed Momo, and it's gonna ruin his psyche if it really did happen. So, other than that, when it comes to the rest of the episode, Okuro-kun is trying to find a way how to get strong, and Turbo Granny's like, what the hell are you trying to do? Throw a punch or get stronger? When it comes to Okuro-kun, he is a wimp, and he is irritating now and times. Just gonna be honest, I'm not gonna deny that. He is somewhat annoying when it comes to his own ways of cowardice, or, well, I don't think he's a coward. I take that back. He's not a coward, but I guess the way how he does things tend to annoy me a bit. But, he's not some strong guy to begin with, not like Gigi, and it's understandable. Of course, Turbo Granny just asked, like, Okuro-kun or Takikawa Ken, like, what the hell do you want to do? Do you want to throw a punch, or do you want to learn or do you want to get stronger? And Okuro-kun says, I want to get strong, because that's what I want to do. And Turbo Granny and the cat doll, we all know that, says, you know what? Get over here. Follow me. I'm gonna kick your butt all over the place and get you strong. And don't you dare give up on me, even if it gets way too tough, okay? By that time, Ira sneakily decides to follow Okuro-kun because she's Ira and she loves Okuro-kun. We all know that, but she's a little annoying here and there. Which I am trying not to be a jerk about that, which I did say, and over repeating myself, that I do find Ira a little annoying. But she has her moments where she's useful, I guess, or she has some ways of making things flow in a positive direction. But other than that, she's not really a good cup of tea with me. But either way, she too wants to get stronger and decides to follow Okuro-kun. By that time, we get to see that Turbo Granny is trying to teach Okuro-kun about how his technique is. Like, compared to the jumps you do here and there, and compared to Gigi's jumps in Evil Eye, that guy's jump, that it will have to take in full actions in order to do so. But other than that, in other words, like, Okuro-kun, you're pretty much weak, your technique's off, and you're pretty much very slow. So, pretty much, Turbo Granny's, I guess, first lesson is to get Okuro-kun to get a good technique down. He has a force switch that can make him a 10 switch, yada yada. Whatever she's trying to explain to Okuro-kun, she does tell Okuro-kun, you gotta work. In other words, I guess he has to work on his technique, how to use his power, and how to get better at it, or how to utilize it. Of course, Okuro-kun and Ira are forced to face off against some ghost evil yokai, I guess, and they get ready to go into action, maybe to, like, fight or to start their training, etc. So preview next episode is called You Can Do It, Okuro-kun. Yeah. I don't know why I keep saying Okuro-kun, man. It's just like, whatever. Other than that, throughout this episode, it's not too bad. First 7 minutes involves Momo's job, and then, like, Evil Eye almost killing Momo, even though Gigi is getting used to using his technique, and he's a prodigy, if anything. But Okuro-kun is trying to get stronger, and Ira wants to get stronger too. Of course, one of Momo's grandma apprentices, one of Momo's grandma's apprentice, the man or the boy, he says, hey man, I can't take this no more. I'm gonna call the Hayase. If you don't want to do the exercising thing on this guy, I'll do it myself. Of course, Momo's grandmother's like, hey man, we gotta help these kids out, okay? We can't really give them that much negative results all the time. But at the same time, the guy says, well, we gotta be, as adults, we gotta show them reality of how things are, and it's not going to be as simple as you think it is. And of course, Okuro-kun is getting trained by Turbo Grandma and the granny doll, and of course Ira comes along too, because she's just like, whatever, I'm going to come along because I want to, because I like Okuro-kun and I want to spend time with him. And of course, I guess first lesson for Okuro-kun is to master his technique or get into a better flow of how to utilize your power. So Looking forward to see how that goes. Other than that, that's about it. I'll see you guys later. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. All right. Peace out. Bye bye. Toot toot.